Free Wharf is a great opportunity to transform an unwanted, unused industrial site into an attractive riverside development. We'll be bringing 540 new homes, up to 200 new job opportunities, some fantastic public realm and leisure opportunities for local people. So for Southern Housing Group, it's all about getting the details right so that the scheme benefits everyone and not just the people who will be living in Free Wharf. The transport strategy is an important part of how we get the details right. Of course, there are constraints posed by traffic conditions on, for example, the A259. The two key questions that people will want to have answered are: how many cars will the new development bring, and can the local road network cope? To help answer these questions, we've got Chris Williams from WSP. Chris, there's simply no way that the local roads will be able to cope with at least 540 new cars because of coming to the area because of Free Wharf.
Okay, well, it's important that we look at the actual calculations we've used. As part of the planning application, we completed a comprehensive transport assessment, which allows us to make accurate forecasts of the likely impact of the development.
But what are those numbers actually based on? They're just assumptions, surely.
We've used information from real-time situations, including local census data and data gathered from other new development sites.
What sort of journeys will people be making then, according to your assumptions?
We predict that people will have trips that are evenly split north, east and west from the development.
There will be some extra journeys, won't
Yes.
there? What does that look like? How many vehicles, for example, will that mean in every minute?
Overall, it's predicted that the development will generate 1 to 2 additional car trips in each direction. We've created a video that shows what that impact will look like. The bottom level is the predicted additional vehicle flow to and from the development. The next one up is the total level of traffic that will be generated, and the next 4 lines are existing conditions on surrounding roads.
So this one here with the very few vehicles on it, what does that represent?
That's the number of vehicles that will be travelling to and from the development in each direction.
So those are the extra vehicles?
Yes, that's correct.
That doesn't seem very many, does it?
No. Once we have looked at the way people travel, their destinations and the times they travel, that's the sort of impact we'll be looking at.
That should hopefully be quite reassuring for people.
I hope so.
From this, it looks like you are arguing that there'll be no impact because of Free Wharf.
Well, no, there will be an impact, but it's certainly not going to be 500 cars on the network at the same time. As part of the transport assessment, we've completed a comprehensive transport strategy that looks to encourage trips by walking, cycling, public transport, given that they are a real alternative to trips by private car. The location of Free Wharf means that the railway station is 5 to 10 minute walk away. There are bus stops directly located outside the site, which encourages a far greater level of trips by those modes compared with other sites in other locations.
One of the concerns that I've heard is that the current road network already suffers from congestion and delays. How will that be improved?
Well, investments coming from development in the area will allow improvements to be made to the local transport network with the aim of reducing congestion and improving journey times.
People talk about sustainable options, but isn't that meaningless?
The site benefits from a great location for encouraging trips by sustainable modes of transport.
What do you mean by sustainable?
Walking, cycling, public transport use. We recognise that the A259 is busy, but as part of the development proposals will be improving crossing facilities to allow easier access to the railway station and town centre. We're also providing a cycle route between the development and the railway station to further help encourage trips.
Will there be any other provision for cyclists?
There's going to be a waterfront cycle route which will run along the southern edge of the development, which in the future will form part of a wider cycle plan linking Shoreham with Brighton. To encourage cycle use, we're providing 540 cycle spaces for residents and a further 56 spaces for visitors.
These days, everyone's got a car. That's just a fact, isn't it, surely?
Well, no, not everyone. Local census data shows that the provision of parking within Wharf will be adequate to meet the demands of the development.
And what level of parking are you providing?
There'll be 512 spaces in total, of which 438 will be in the basement for resident use, and a further 74 will be provided at ground level for visitors and users of the commercial spaces.
Thank you. Are there any incentives for people not to have a car?
Of course, there's an incentive for people not to own a car. We're providing 2 car club spaces on the site, which will provide a flexible, cheap and convenient alternative to private car ownership. For moderate car users, a car club will save in the region of £3,500 compared to private car ownership.
That's quite a big incentive.
We're further incentivising this by providing 1 year's free membership for all residents.
If I'm not a resident at Wharf, would I still be allowed to join the club?
Yes, you can. Yes, it will be available for users within the local area as well as residents.
Even so, the people living at Wharf will still be adding to the traffic.
Yes, there will be some additional traffic on the local network as we've shown. However, the site benefits from a fantastic location in terms of encouraging trips by alternative modes such as walking, cycling, public transport. For example, during the peak hours, Brighton city centre can be reached quicker on the train than by private car.
And of course, there are bus stops nearby.
Bus stops are located immediately outside of the development.
And will there be any real-time data available for residents to help them time their journeys to make sure they can catch a bus or a train?
Yes, it is proposed that real-time passenger information displays will be provided both within the foyers of the residential units but also in the commercial properties to give people up-to-date and real-time information.
Thank you. It's a location that means there is a far lower impact on the local network than, for example, other sites that are further away from amenities and where a car journey is often the only option.